Cream soda, engage! Hi guys, I'm John Bro, and welcome back to Let's Play Bomberman Hero again. We're gonna warp to the warp room, I suppose. No idea what this room is. I haven't practiced this one. I just felt like recording more, and I'm recording more because I feel like it. And already this place looks very strange. We are greeted by alarm bombs. Fantastic. And that must be why these faces in the background are very alarmed. I have no idea how to get up there yet. I'm assuming that's what the warp system is for. Yeah. Well, that's something to discover, I guess. Something to discover for the clearly very distant future. Because we have no system of warping in the present. Actually, that's kind of an interesting story that I could bring up, is that one time, I might have talked about this once before in an entirely different video, I'm not really sure, but I remember this this person a long time ago who was talking about how they used to work in Area 51. It was some old guy, fairly old guy. I don't know what he does for a living. All I know is that he supposedly worked at Area 51, and there were these things that they designed where they put on a helmet and they could teleport across a room, and it was strange. Kind of plausible, I guess. It was a plausible enough story. It could be real, or it could be him just being a crazy old geezer who doesn't know what he's talking about, but it's very hard to say, for absolutely certain. Because, you know, if you're so senile, how could you make something like that up? Come on. I don't know. Now, because I just had, I would estimate maybe half of a cream soda, I'm feeling a little bit more burpy than I normally would when recording, but that's okay by me because cream soda is the best. Yeah, I'm in a very weird mood right now. I am currently wearing my Josh Jepson Super Happy shirt, and, let's see, what else? I'm wearing a robe. Just a nightgown robe. That's kind of happy. I feel like I shouldn't have blown up that box, because now I have no way of getting up to that. Or maybe I do. Ho-ho! I just thought of something. Maybe I can just jump off the teleporter, and victory is mine. I am the master of all things that defy the laws of gravity, except for Area 51. You know, also, that last room and that last room that we just... Or the last room and the last room. Well, I guess it was the warp room, so it was a room within a room. That very last part that we just went to, it really deeply reminds me of this thought that I had for a game a long time ago. I didn't even have a thought for the game, I just had a thought for one very small piece of the level design. And it looks exactly like that. So I probably just mentally stole it from this game and I didn't even realize it. It was in a dream that I had once. I have a lot of weird things in my dreams that just end up coming across as video game concept ideas, and then I realize that they're actually from something that already exists. Although I guess there have been a couple of cases where that hasn't happened, but I don't know. I'm thinking one time I had a dream where I was apparently like Sonic or something, and I was speeding through this island in the sky, and it was sort of an island, but it wasn't really an island because it was in the sky, and it was sort of... I guess it was kind of Skyward Sword-esque, and I just fell to my death. The thing was that Skyward Sword hadn't actually come out yet. It didn't come out until like 4 or 5 years later than the dream that I had, so I really don't know what was going on there. It looked very much like the Sky Temple or the Sky City. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I liked Skyward Sword quite a bit. It was a very good game in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't think any of the names in the game were very memorable. I cannot remember the names of anything in that game. Except maybe the Earth Temple, because that was also in Wind Waker, but it wasn't really in Wind Waker because the Earth Temple in Wind Waker had to do with dungeons and mirrors and lights and stuff, and then the Earth Temple in Skyward Sword actually had to do with the Earth, because it was fire. I don't know. I'll probably talk about that again whenever I inevitably Let's Play either or Wind Waker or Skyward Sword. I'm sure I will record both eventually. Well, I can't be sure of that because of what I talked about in Part 6 or whatever it was. You can't be sure of anything! Kind of like 12 Angry Men. He's an old man, how can he be sure of anything? Foot in mouth. That movie is a big foot-in-mouth moment, and it is fantastic. Love it all. Love 12 Angry Men. It is just 12 angry men in a room for the entire duration of the movie, and it is fantastic. I feel like I must be a very strange person to have an appreciation for that film. I don't know if most people my age would have any sort of appreciation for 12 Angry Men, a movie that was made in, like, the 50s. Maybe it was the 30s. It was either the 30s or the 50s, I don't know which one's which, because I know that I also like It's a Wonderful Life, and I know that I like, what else? Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. All black and white films made in the 30s and 50s, and I don't know which one came where, and which where was who. And also, why don't I have remote bombs? Did I get rid of the remote-controlled bombs? Those are my favorites, though. I love the remote-controlled bombs, and I don't have them anymore. That makes me depressed. That makes me extremely depressed. I am a depressed basket of tigers. Even though it's supposed to be a depressing basket of tigers, I don't even know my own catchphrases. Not that that's a very interesting catchphrase, because I kind of forced it whenever I invented it. Invented it. But, oh well. This looks like a good end to the level, I suppose. No, it doesn't. Criminy. I'm not sure what I did differently that time, but now we have all the points. So now let's go to visit Nitrous Man. By which I mean Princess Million. She's the same person. Princess Million, are you alright? Well, obviously she's not because she's locked in a cellar, although it looks like we're locked in a cellar at that angle. Bomberman! Piebot! Thank goodness you're here. I'm just gonna talk without moving my chin like most cartoons do. Nitros is looking for the disc I stole. So here, R2-D2. Take it to Obi-Wan Kenobi so Darth Vader doesn't get it. Oh, wait a minute. Darth Vader's good friend, Jango Fett, Boba Fett, Jango Fett. Yeah, he's here. We'll fight again in Adok. Because you should clearly know where Adok is, even though we've never heard that word before, as far as I know. And I'm just gonna stand here like a perfectly static image, like one of those paperweight things that they put next to doors. Or whatever that's called. She just looks like a display, like a cardboard display model in that shot. I'm just gonna sit here happily and smile while you most likely kill yourself trying to fight this guy to your doom. I don't even understand. This is not meant to be a very emotional game, obviously. It's just the emotions in the game are very askew. Okay, are you gonna die anytime soon? I feel like you should be dying, but you're not dying. No, disc. Oh. When did you learn Ultimate Frisbee? You do not need to know any Ultimate Frisbee to do what you're doing. You are not the disc golf champion. My brothers are big into disc golf. Okay, I'm willing to bet that what I needed was a 7,000. I bet I needed 7,000 points to win that properly. Oh! Well, I'm glad that I didn't officially bet any money, because I would have lost like $1,000 just then. What are you doing? What are you... Get off the ground. Oh, wait, you can't get off the ground. You're like a turtle. He cannot stop dancing even when he is on the floor. Actually, that's the best place to dance, is on the floor, after all. Yeah, seriously, what just happened? We just killed the person who was trying to kidnap her, so why is she kidnapped? That makes perfect sense. Okay. That is exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Yeah. A big fat purple bird with goggles. Yeah! Yeah, I'm just gonna skip this cutscene. I don't even care what's next. Actually, this is a kind of interesting level. To open the Killer Gate, you have to destroy the 10 submarines. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a big deal, and it's not. I don't even know what this level is like. I barely remember what this level is, but from what I remember, it's not that much of a problem. You just kind of drop bombs here and there. Dropping bombs like a diss rap, like a rap battle. We're just dropping bombs left and right. We've been dropping bombs since we started this song. Sorry, Wright Brothers, this time you chose wrong. That's basically what's going on here. See, I feel like, even though I have 1 health left, there's a distinct possibility that I will not lose all of this health that I have, this 1 health. I mean, it's also very possible that I will, but I'm thinking there is the possibility that I won't. It does exist. Which I guess it does all the time, but there's more likelihood of it not being lost right now. We all die in a blue submarine. Blue submarine. Blue submarine. Because there's a guy overhead who has a beanie on his head, and he's trying to drop bombs so that all of us are dead. We all die in a blue submarine. And then the song stops there because they suddenly die. Although you could repeat the song, 9 more times, and then it would apply to all of the submarines in this wonderful place. A submarine would be a great place for a horror game. Unless, of course, it is Deep Fear, in which case it is not. Do-do-do-do. And hey, I have 2 health now. When did that happen? I don't even know. I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy laughing at the fact that I had 1 health and I wasn't dying. And now that I've said that, I'm going to die immediately. Just like that submarine. Because submarines can die, they are sentient human beings. They're not human beings. They I see what you're trying to do there, Hudson Soft or Nintendo or whoever made this game. You were trying to hide that purple ball from me, but unlucky for you, I am very experienced at finding and then pursuing purple balls. Especially if they are on Barney or the Purple People Eater. That's where they're the tastiest. What am I talking about? I just need to slap myself silly. So as soon as I get a free hand, I will slap myself silly. I also have completely forgotten how to pronounce any words of any kind. Hello, Cannon. Goodbye, Cannon. Hello, Cannon. Goodbye, Cannon. I also like this music. Have I brought up how great this music is before? It's okay music. But it just perfectly fits the mood here. Anytime you have propeller mode, it is the best music possible. Also, did you notice that all of the submarines had certain designs on the side of them? That will become significant eventually, once we learn what that design actually is. But you're not gonna think, like, once we see where the design came from, you're not gonna think, oh, I remember that from the submarines, because it's not really that important. I'm just saying that because it's something to talk about. And we're about to win the level. Hooray, we won the level. Bomberman's so cute whenever he lands and he's just sitting down like that. He's so adorable. He's the most adorable terrorist of all time. Oh, this is another interesting level. It loops around in circles. It is basically the equivalent of Whomp's Fortress, just in Bomberman Land. Except Bomberman Land, I'm pretty sure, is the name of that Wii game that has the stuff that no one likes in it. The mini-games. Like, I distinctly remember one of the mini-games in that game being exactly the same as this game online called, I think it's Bubble Trouble. I don't even remember what the game's name is. It's just some dumb thing where you're this little devil and you have a gun, and then you shoot the gun upward and there are balls bouncing everywhere, and then you try to just pop the bubble balls with your harpoon gun, and that's it. You can't even aim the gun, it just goes straight up. And that exact game is in Bomberman and except with bombs, obviously, because it has to be related to Bomberman. So that's like direct infringement. Although I'm sure that concept was made before that game existed anyways, the Flash game that I'm talking about, but still. Just, it seems unwise to market a game based on a popular series like Bomberman, or at least a fairly popular series like Bomberman, that a lot of people can recognize, and base the entire thing off of essentially Flash game material. That just seems unwise. Even Rayman Raving Rabbids was a little bit better than that, because at least those kinds of games you couldn't see exactly on a Flash game. Most Flash games are not... They do not utilize 3D capabilities like I'm trying to do with my next Flash projects. Flash is not capable of full 3D. I think the next version of Flash Up that I don't have has some 3D in it. Has some 3D capabilities, but I don't know, I just want to make 3D backgrounds, because I've been kind of inspired lately by playing games like 999 and Virtue's Last Reward and stuff like that, because they have 3D backgrounds in them, and that just seems like fun. So that is why, if you've been following me on Twitter, I've been posting pictures of a 3D desk. Which sounds very boring, and it is. But it's also very exciting. Bomberman, could you stop tripping on your own shoelaces here? You do not need any of that. That was the stupidest... Alright. That was a whole lot easier to land on than I thought it would be. Just because I am a moron face. Alright. So speaking of chandeliers, here we are at the top of Womp's Fortress. Well, I'm assuming it's close to the top. It kind of has to be close to the top because we've already passed the point at which we're supposed to go. So this must be the top, right? Yeah, looks good to me. Except I'm a little bit worried because it doesn't seem, based on that score up there, that we've gotten everything that we need to get. So what am I missing here, game? I wish you would specify exactly what I need before I start seeing stars buzzing around my head like bumblebees. Okay, something happened that was different. Also, I used to remember this song differently. Like, the bass line to the song, it goes doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. But I always thought that it was a little bit different than that somehow. I thought that it was deeper, and I thought that the last note was more pronounced and was a little bit lower or something. And sometimes whenever I listen to the song, it just sounds like the bass line is doo-doo, 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 and it doesn't even change at the end. I don't know, that's just me being weird, I guess. But thank you all very much for watching, and we're gonna fight a giant bird maybe next time.